Do you agree so far with the analysis that we've had? As far as this map is concerned, that is.
Well, I don't know. I think NiP need to win this first map. I think that that's an absolute necessity here for the Swedes. I don't see them having a good time ending up playing, you know, Inferno to try and win it. But look at the boost going on over outside along. Just setting up very slow round right now for NiP.
Now this isn't something we see every day. This is definitely something very interesting here. They are banking on LDLC pushing out to try and get some kind of advantage here, some kind of edge. All three members, four members soon here for NiP could potentially come crashing through. There is a setup here, however, from LDLC, Shoxy, and NBK. They've got the crossfire, but there's the flash to lead the charge. NBK going to be putting some shots out, trying to draw their attention to set it up for Shoxy, who is currently trying to land something as well, but it's just not happening. Freiburg gets the double entry, and there you go. NiP off to a fantastic start.
And LDLC going to have to try and stabilize this. They're not out of the round yet. Smith will get a good headshot in on Freiburg, so finally shots down the monster. Now it's Happy going down next to Forest. It's Smith and Kiyoshima left, 2-on-4. This is going to be an uphill battle for LDLC. They're going to charge their way through. Forest is there, picks up the second headshot, and it's going to be down to Kiyoshima. He's going to get hunted down. And NiP will pick up the pistol round, which is obviously a great start.
That's for them, exactly. I mean, we saw what LDLC are capable of if they get that strong start. CT versus Na'Vi. Now NiP, they get that perfect start for themselves here. That was the Glock trade, nothing about it. LDLC had to land the shots. NBK and Shoxy, the first line of defense there, and they just crumbled beneath Freiburg's onslaught. And from there on out, it was the NiP show. Now it's going to be the scout battle mid, and it's going to be Smith and Kiyoshima both getting tagged up.
Classic meta game going on right here as get scouts in C-set 75. The scouts supposed to soften up the targets as they get closer. The C-set 75 take over, and you just mob down anyone who might be there. It's a good idea right now for LDLC. It's become the most common follow-up to losing the pistol round, so no big surprise, really. And LDLC, I mean, we've already heard before, they're masters at the C-set 75 stuff.
Exactly. I mean, holding these close angles, just like this one here for Kiyoshima. If they decide to run through with mid doors, he's up close. Smith is there to draw the attention as well. This could be brutal here if NiP decide to run right through, but the smoke is going to go down and block off CT. We lose Smith immediately. Kiyoshima gets overwhelmed as well. Exist gets the double entry, and that's the B site wide open here for NiP to get the plant. And LDLC, they don't seem too interested in rushing in here. They want to take their time and try and set up to take some of these guns off of NiP.
Still a lot to be gained in the round for LDLC. NiP hit a soft spot in the defense there, and they got the 2 entry frags they needed, so nothing more really to say about that. Now it's on the Frenchmen to try and see if they can, as you said, make it out of here with a gun and save these armors as well for the upcoming round. It's not looking good for Shox as he's being shot at from a distance, and Forrest sort of creeps up close to the ramp and will end up taking him down. It's NBK and Happy left, and they aren't looking in position to do much either here. Get right, he's got 100% health, so saving the armor in the C-set is still actually worth a lot. You have to remember that. It's better, obviously, if they can get a gun, but another person goes down, and now LDLC kind of make it out with nothing at all. Get right comes up with a kill. That is, I mean, it's a tough decision, because I think you're right. LDLC initially probably thought, we'll get exit kills, steal a few guns, and it'll be great for us. But then the other choice would have been to try and hide in the pit far away and save the armors, and they went for something in between that and didn't work out as well as they thought.
Exactly. I mean, those sorts of scenarios, when you can't initially get it done quickly, well, sometimes it's best to back off. This time around, LDLC will have nothing going into this round. It's a hard eco from them, not a dollar spent. They want to try and save up as much as possible for the big buy round that'll be coming up in the next one, in the 4th round, when they will get those rifles and basically have their first crack here at stopping NiP. NiP, they're very happy with how that went, though. Perfect end eco round for them, not losing a rifle, not having to spend any extra money here. So this is a perfect start here for the Swedes, and they're currently walking their way up long. There's nobody here to stop them.
So a good guess right here. It's also easier to walk up long in an entry eco when you know there are no scouts, and they obviously can be sure there are no scouts right now on the LDLC side. So this is actually a pretty good choice, considering that they can almost certainly guess what the weaponry is going to be like on the CT side. And stacking up A is not something you can just easily do on this map. Stacking B is very easy, and stacking middle is very easy. A bomb side is just different. So NiP going for the, I think, the most obvious choice and also the smartest one.
And the way that they went about it as well, sticking together, making sure that they couldn't get split up. It's all about controlling those guns there for NiP. So the fact that they went together and just went as a unit is a very smart play from them. Just not giving LDLC any kind of advantage because, again, LDLC on this map are monsters. You cannot afford to make a mistake because they will punish you. Now LDLC once again just kind of set up here to see if NiP are going to try and push out, but I doubt it. I highly doubt it. There's no reason for NiP to take the risk in this scenario.
Some questions still to be answered here on the LDLC side. I'm mostly looking forward to Smiths on this map, because against Na'Vi, he really did not show up. Happy played amazingly against Na'Vi in the semis, but I want to see Smiths come into his own again.
And he was a little bit rattled by that as well during the break. Got to catch up with him very briefly, and he was saying, you know, like, why, what's going on? You know, a bit jokingly, but it was still there, right? You know, where he's like, why am I not hitting the shots? So we'll have to see if he can come alive here and get some of that confidence back going into the finals, because this is when, of course, it matters most. As far as the rifles are concerned, LDLC fairly well equipped here. They do have full Colts across the board, but they are very limited on nades. NiP just going to be making some noise, trying to draw some of those nades out here early. The earlier they can get those smokes off of the CT side, the easier it will be for Ninjas and Pyjamas to take over a bomb site.
Creeping their way into the middle, it's Freiburg. We've seen how incredibly deadly he can be opening up the middle of this map, sometimes hitting nothing but headshots when he's coming out the middle like this. So we'll have to see if he can do it again, because obviously those entry frags are so important. But it's going to be Smiths opening up on Forest. Happy shooting blindly through, but staying alive, taking some damage, but still a good job here on the French side, just getting the advantage. Freiburg very low on health. Flashbang in. Hiroshima comes in, takes down Freiburg, and it's going to keep spraying a little bit more. And flashes his way back into the B bomb site. Very smart, very cautious play coming out right now from LDLC. They're winning the round currently. Smith's going to take one quick peek up. Nice headshot as well. Exist dropping very low on health here. Smith's doing an extraordinary job. It's just Maikelele left, and LDLC looking strong as soon as they pick up rifles. Maikelele 1-on-4, some great headshots raining on through. He's trying for a little bit more. If only he knew Smith was on 2 health, but Maikelele, he's still in play here. He's going to flash his way in, sprays down, and it's finally going to fall to Shoxy. A great round from LDLC.
Yeah, fantastic play. I mean, that was all about Smith and Hiroshima just annihilating that push. Whenever they came in, whenever NiP showed themselves, they were getting punished time and time again. But this play here from Hiroshima is a thing of beauty. The fact that he manages to pick up Freiburg and stay alive, to come back onto this site, to make sure that Smith cannot get overwhelmed. A little bit of luck there with Smith living on 2 HP. But still, LDLC get their first buy round, and now NiP are the ones who are going to be rocked a little bit here. And the way that they're going to deal with this, go straight up to that AWP, let Maikelele start opping now.
It's definitely a good choice. He was looking quite powerful earlier in the day with this exact rifle, so I'm not surprised that that's what they decided to do. MPK, the Mag 7 in hand, but he's actually holding all the way outside long, so sort of an interesting spot. Sometimes you see people use it by catwalk, where they jump up by the box and try and take anyone, and if that was MPK's position, it'd be interesting, because it looks like at least NiP might just try and go near that spot. They could also just be making sure that nobody is on short, because if you want to go B-split like they did last time around, then making sure no one's on short is the first component.
Exactly. You don't want them to be in position to be able to rotate anything here. So LDLC right now, about as standard as can be, leaving open the, like, totally open mid right now. They're really focusing on locking down the bomb sites themselves, and they seem to have a bit of an idea of what NiP are up to, because NiP gathered up on Cat. It's going to be all 4 members pushing up here. This is all going to come down to the initial shot. Shoxy lands a brilliant headshot, but Exist returns it immediately. There is still 1 man alive here, however, for the Frenchman. It is going to be Happy. Goes for a bit of a pop flash, and this is going to be his big time to shine. The single spray, but he's nearly going to get the double, and he does. Happy stops NiP cold, and this is now falling apart for the Swedes.
A little bit of self-control on Happy, not going for the re-peek, as Getright is going to go down to NBK, leaving Exist 1-on-3. Another really good start to the round here for LDLC, as Exist will spray down 1 follow-up headshot. Now it's a 1-on-1, but there's only 5 seconds left. He's running out of time. Smith just has to stay put, and they'll win the round. Exist with a quad kill, but he cannot finish it. That's got to be painful. And Smith, he's looking a little bit. Is he going to find him? Oh my God, the last possible second. And he's going to be all right. That's a scary round. I mean, if they had all just tried to challenge Exist then, that could have gone wrong.
That one 1 at a time. Look at this. I mean, this long-range spray on Happy. That's some get-right Freiburg level of control there. But Exist looking very focused. The pause did come in, and actually it was Shoxy who initiated it. So the Frenchman calling for a bit of a break, perhaps a problem with the mouse, perhaps a problem with the keyboard, but we'll see if that can get sorted out fairly quickly here. As far as NiP are concerned, though, they've just tried 2 strats, two gun strats, basically, that were rendered completely ineffective. So now the question is, NiP, they were off to such a strong start in the first 3 rounds. How do they come back from that? And what do you think? I mean, what do you think NiP can actually aim for here, apart from just trying to make their presence felt on the map by getting picks?
I think that is going to be the option for NiP actually, but I think they're going to try and get more of their picks down the middle. I would like, especially now that they have Michaelele, I'd love to see NiP try and see if they can flash and push their way in on long with a lot of grenades and force LDLC back. Look, put Michaelele in the pit and let him stay there. And just have some patience, see if LDLC aren't going to get impatient and come and peek you. Right now, obviously, going into the 6th round, there's been unforced right now. Shock's picked up the AWP, and NiP are quite fast out on long, but it's just Michaelele here. There's a bit of a distraction being caused right now. And he's just hiding at the end of the smoke. It's a super cool play, but he loses his patience, going to fire and reveal himself. Happy will take him down. LDLC getting the entry frag again.
Yeah, exactly right. We all know what happens when NiP don't get entry frags. They do seem to struggle. They get bogged down somewhat. But here's the classic flash onto Cat to allow Freiburg to take point and start clearing this position, making a little bit of noise here, trying to draw attention for the LDLC. But Happy, he senses that something is not right. And he's already making his way towards mid, holding from CT. He sees what's coming. NiP are going to come crashing through those mid doors, and Happy is right on the edge. He is in a perfect position to get the flank, and it's a double spray from Happy, looking for the third, and he gets the headshot. But Get Right is down to 2 HP in a 1v4, and it's not meant to be this time. NBK will get the final frag, and it's now 3 rounds for LDLC.
Exceptional defense coming out from Happy. That triple kill down there. Obviously starting off with Michaelele over at long. Really, really good stuff there for LDLC. And again, they're also keeping a large portion of their members alive. Just that's really important too. Building an economy slowly on the CT side, and even more importantly, forcing NiP to actually eco now. They have bought some grenades here, just trying to see if they can get in. One smoke already used actually. I was going to say maybe they wanted to see if they could get the smoke plant off on A, but I don't think LDLC are going to let stuff like that by easily.
Now, it seems like LDLC, at least right now, are in Ninjas and Pajamas' heads. I mean, that positioning from Happy, seeing exactly, I mean, because Happy has been holding fairly high on the side, like in the round before that, up in Goose, and then he just comes in and manages to just eviscerate the push. Now it's going to be Shoxy with this AWP, holding on A slope, a second frag for him, gets the 3rd as well. Happy will rob him of the 4th, and NBK will take the 5th. But an ironclad defense here on the A site, and that eco round does nothing for NiP. They're looking very focused right now, however, the Frenchmen, and it doesn't really seem like they are flustered. Shoxy was even caught laughing there for a second, and when Shoxy cracks a smile, you know things are about to get pretty rough for you.
And it's, you know, again, they go with Shox Orping and not Smith. So I'm thinking they've already had a conversation about this very topic, and Smith said, I'm not feeling quite ready. Shox is feeling, or is looking really on point, so why not? Freiburg with a good opening though to take down MBK. That was swift and clean. And that's what they needed in NiP. We've said this time and again, but this team seems they just function so much better when they get that little bit of confidence, get the opening frag, and that's about it. Smith is going to fall as well. Exist doing work down towards the middle of the map. Now they got to be careful about shots up here on the B-bomb side. Kiyoshima falls next. NiP getting entry frags all across the board, all across the map, and that means the rest of LDLC really can't do anything. It's not even a choice at this point. They just have to try and hope that NiP won't come hunt them down and take these rifles away.
Exactly right. I mean, right now they're just hanging out on the sites. They're about as far as could be. Shoxy's all the way down in pit, and he's going to be happy to find the headshot on Get Right. So at least now, NiP, they know where Happy is. Freiburg already trying to hunt him down. Goes for the long distance spray. Not going to connect. And Happy at this point is just buying time. If Freiburg passes that line, Shoxy is there to support him, but Happy will get caught out in the open by Exist. Great timing there by the Swedish in-game leader. As far as Shoxy is concerned, he's probably a bit too far away now for NiP to be able to catch up with him, basically. He's going to be able to hang on to this AWP, and that's actually a very good save here for LDLC. That sniper rifle is extremely expensive, and they don't quite have a huge bank just yet on LDLC's side. If they can shave off money like that, it's a very good thing for them.
Definitely is. And NiP throwing 2 rifles away to pick up the one that was on Happy. That might have been worth it. They have money to rebuy the rifles after all, so I mean, I don't think that's a fair investment. LDLC, though, actually will pick up the AWP on Smith here. They had the money for it, and they definitely just go straight ahead. Actually trying to take the fight down the middle with Michaelele as well. No, oh, he did hit Smith, and that's 95 damage through the door, and Smith is going to be falling back. That flick was pretty fast.
That was brutal, and now Smith is going to have to play very passively over on that B side. He's not going to be able to expose himself. At 5 HP, you can kill him with anything. So now, where exactly do NiP go? They've done the initial damage. Michaelele might have confirmed that he did get the tag, but NiP have yet to really get that kill that is going to allow them to just start pushing across the map. LDLC going back to that firm strategy where they have two guys holding on the A site with one holding towards long, so trying to cover all the entrances, but they aren't putting up much of a fight in mid right now. They really are leaving it open and making it very difficult for NiP to find that entry frag.
So are they going to go short this time, or are they actually going to end up in middle? It kind of feels like it's going to be short with a bit of a fight going on long with Get Right and Shocks out there. NBK down in CC spawn, and he can hear them walking up on catwalk, so he's definitely going to be making a call to his teammates. Shocks has to stay alive out here, that's the most important thing. NBK helping up, taking out Freiburg, then NiP falling back with the bomb. Playing this on very slow, very drawn out, and then we have time for it. Sharks will pick off Exist, and it's only 20 seconds left. NiP, they need a lot more speed, and it's just not happening here. Happy is in a great position to stop this. NiP looking indecisive. They're going to take down NBK, but there's only 14 seconds. They need to move. Happy takes one, takes two, and Shots will drop Get Right. A great round here for LDLC. Not letting themselves get flustered by NiP playing so slow, because you can get impatient. You can want to look where they are, but LDLC really playing it cool.
Look at this. I mean, Happy is just basically saying, keep your cool. That little finger wag there, you know, like don't get flustered. Because that's what it's all about right there. You can see how NiP, they're moving up Cat, and they're counting on Michael to find that opening pick to allow them to just run up onto the site. Only problem is he never had a target. LDLC just played the angles perfectly right there and slowly choked NiP out of that round. Now NiP back down to pistols again. They aren't able to establish the money until Freiburg steps in and gets the headshot on Smith. Does not let him make away with that. And Michael now has that sniper rifle to play with again.
So that's a big risk to take. I'm wondering if LDLC didn't realize that NiP were ecoing, or they didn't care. Because we know the other team is ecoing, can afford to play a little bit more defensively, usually. Michael now looking to use this stolen AWP to wreak havoc. Get Right waiting up here, and NBK's going to go right into it. There's the kill. Now it's a 3-on-5 Michael. Oh, what a quick flick, but not quite going to get it. Gets one more try. Now they're charging in. They want to take Hiroshima out, and they will. Freiburg picks up the second shot. Now down in the middle. Finally, Happy retaliates. It's 2-on-4, and it isn't quite done yet. They do have rifles here on the LDLC side, but Shoxy is miles away from the action. Happy might have to do this all on his own. He does the damage, but he's not going to get help from Shoxy. This is a very weird position for LDLC, and Happy should actually try and get out, because it's clearly not going to work. But actually, as it happens, Get Right's in a great position here, and Happy's not going to escape. Shox, I know there's a bit of miscommunication there between LDLC. It seemed like Happy wanted to retake, Shoxy wanted to save.
I'm Happy. He knew that Get Right was potentially at his back, and didn't really have anywhere to go. Where at that point, Shoxy is going to be able to get that rifle off of Get Right. Michael trying to hunt him down, but it's not going to be fast enough. Shoxy will live through the round, but NiP are yet again walking away with another run here. And this is actually due to them getting the entry yet again. When they actually get that opening kill, it just seems to basically overpower NiP, or at least, you know, nitrous, just nitrous charge. Something that just lights them up and lets them just start to take frags that they otherwise wouldn't.
Aaron mentioned earlier that NiP generally are slow starters. So, I mean, they're already off to a pretty good start here. 5-5 is not that bad. This map does play out pretty evenly. LDLC, I think actually both teams are fairly neck and neck, but it means if NiP does kick it into overdrive later on, could maybe be an issue here for LDLC. Those entry frags are the ones we're looking out for. And now there's 2 orbs on NiP side. Forrest also picking up 1.
What's going to be the real issue here for LDLC is the money. But there we go. Shoxy will find the entry frag, takes out Freiburg, and that's going to slow things down here for NiP. They aren't able to push up behind to get the revenge kill. And so now, how do we see the Ninjas play from this position when they're down a man? What is going to be the call for them? And it looks like it might be moving towards that B site. The bomb is waiting through the doors, and they are looking like they want to try and get control of that half of the map yet again. Happy going to try and push down. He's going to be in the perfect position to flank here. This is going to be brutal. Happy just needs to look out the mid doors, takes out the first man. Going to jump down and take out Michael as well. And that's the bomb drop at his feet. Forrest and Get Right, the last 2 alive here for NiP.
Oh, Get Right does pick up a kill on NBK. Forrest just has to remember to look right here as he crosses out into it, but he's not going to get it. Great play from LDLC, especially Happy. That was such a great positional play right there. They do steal the AWP as well, and they're going to be in an interesting position now. The fact that they killed Freiburg first up on Catwalk is also obviously very important, as Freiburg is the guy for those entries.
Freiburg, I mean, he said it himself in that interview. It's just, he feels like he's playing the best CS of his life right now. To take him out of the picture that early on in the round is a huge advantage for LDLC. He is getting a lot done, and NiP heavily rely on him on their T sides to go ahead and create those openings. Michael with the op is there, yes, but Freiburg is the one who's going to push in, try and take control of those angles and get the opening frags that are going to give NiP space to play with rather. So, question is now, once again, we are just so low on money for both teams. NiP, if they lose this one, they're back to ecoing, and they really cannot allow that. They need to start getting ahead in rounds here on this T-side stuff too.
Mid control again. You see LDLC aren't trying to contest it too much. They're staying essentially on their side of the map. There's been no aggressive boost to look down lower, dark, or into the middle or anything like that. The most aggressive they were was Smiths pushing up that one and Eco, and that really backfired heavily. So LDLC just staying back. Michael finding a good opening. MBK with the one return, but he gets down by Get Right. So an uneven trade going in favor of NiP. Happy in the middle of spraying through. He cannot quite catch Freiburg. That's very close to connecting. Would have been huge. They're going to come hunt for him. Great job here from LDLC. Freiburg falls, and now it's going to be up in the A bomb site. Throwing the bomb over. They're afraid to make this crossing, but Gerright's going to take the challenge, and no one is there to accept it. So 3-on-3, it's going to be a full-on retake. The bomb, I'm assuming they planted that one for long, because Forest is down here with control along, and if they can get right here as well, it's going to be a very tough retake, unless Smiths is going to go insane down here.
That's the question. Happy is going to be working in through CT slope, though. Yeah, Flash to lead the way. That's not going to allow really Kyoshima to push out. It's actually going to be Forrest taking out Smith. Happy is gone. Get Right finds that frag. And now Kyoshima 1v3. It's just not going to pan out for him here. He cannot go for the retake alone. He has to back off. Although that is a scenario that LDLC could potentially win. Retaking with even numbers on the A side is much easier than doing it on the B side. It just so happens that this time, NiP were able to land the shots when necessary.
There is a fundamental problem, though, when you're the CT side and pushing in like that, because obviously the terrorists know if they plant for long or for short, so they have to decide where they control. Probably LDLC could guess that it wasn't going to be a short plant because they ended up going up there and checking. There was no one covering it. But that means by the time they've already made that decision, they got 2 people on short, 1 person on long, and all of a sudden all the pressure is on Smiths who's on long, and they must realize that unless Smiths can clear long for them, they'll never be able to control the bomb side. Even if they kill the people in the bomb side, they still lose the round. 13th round is coming up here, and still a double-up setup going on for NiP currently, with LDLC very low on economy, 2 CZ75s, 2 M4s, and the AWP on Shocks. Forrest finding an opening, taking down Smiths. Luckily, it's only one of the CZs gone.
That is a big bonus there for LDLC, but it also weakens the defense here on the B site. For NiP, they could potentially look to crack this, but Shoxy's going to catch Freiburg out on Cat again. And that's a huge frag to bring back LDLC into this round. NBK is holding solo right here, holding close. As you guys can see, it's the mental battle that's happening right now between Get Right and NBK. It's a game. Very rarely Get Right loses that one, but we shall see if NBK is going to be able to dart out. This is the play for him. He's holding so closely. If he doesn't see anything, now he starts to push, and here he could potentially flank out Get Right if Get Right is not fast enough, but it's going to be the B push, and NiP are going to rush into this site, and Michael opens it up, takes out Kyoshima. Get Right is gone, but Exist will get the refrag right on top of it, and now it's down to NBK and Shox, man down, to retake this B site.
They definitely heard MBK up here, so they know he's there. It's a good pick up from Forrest, leaving Shox in an unwinnable situation, and he recognizes it pretty quickly, just gonna run away with the AWP, which is the smartest move. Now, you're absolutely right about the battle, the mental battle that's going on down there between Get Right and MBK, and what's really interesting from a historical perspective again is that this battle has been going on all throughout the history of Global Offensive, going way back to very games in the very early days. Get Right and MBK, they've been standing on either side of that door for a very, very long time fighting each other. So whatever they do, you have to imagine there's also a huge amount of knowledge about how the other person thinks and plays going into that. We'll probably won't understand, but there's still a way to appreciate it just by imagining how long they've been doing that.
And 3 of these members, Smiths and Shoxy have an enormous amount of experience as well from the very games lineup going up against NiP. So this is just a huge match here that we have here in the Grand Finals of Dreamhack Winter. How is this going to work? No tag there for Michael Haley. Unfortunately for him, they are able to dart past the mid doors and get into position on this B site. But once again, Forrest is here very quickly with this AWP, and he is going to be able to lock this down. No real hope here for LDLC. Look at what LDLC are doing, actually. They aren't even a man down, but they are actually just pushing to get control of mid.
Shox very low. Follow-up grenade almost brings him down. Heavy mid presence right now for LDLC, so if NiP keep going forward, they could end up getting sort of sandwiched in here. Makelele, that's so close. You could see he wanted to click the trigger. Maybe he felt like an itch in that finger, and he couldn't quite tell why, but he decided not to. That was so close. Now, opening frag for NiP. LDLC could end up finishing this half 6-9.
Looking highly likely at this point, unless Shoxy can hold on to that AWP, keep it going for the next round. It's going to be fairly tough here, but Garrett actually throws away his gun to get his pistol out just a little bit faster. He's taking this battle with NBK, but NBK decides to back off, and it's going to be Exist finding Smiths here at mid. Now NiP have some options, and it's looking like they could just go to this B site here. Defense has been weakened. They're working their way, into Upper Dark, and the bomb will make its way there eventually. Whereas LDLC, all three guys still over on A side of the map, so Carrite is still here, just now pushing away.
Yeah. I would love to see NiP get into the bomb site, but just delay the plan a tiny bit until everyone is closer to long, and then go and fight. Because actually 3 of the NiP members are not affected by throwing their rifles away here. So those 3 should go and hunt right now, and the rest should just save, because they need this AWP to disappear from Shox. Because if it does, I don't think LDLC can buy it. I don't think they have enough money, even with their analyst bonus. So that's 1 or less. That's a really big deal. It's the 14th round, so the 15th round's the last one of the half. They might as well go for it here. Right now, Freiburg is out on the hunt. They need to get in there.
Closing in. He seems to have an idea. He might be running into Kyoshima here. Comes down to the timing. Does he look away at the wrong time? But he spots him out on A slope. Gives it up here. Freiburg actually deciding to back off and play defensively. Another thing here to keep in mind is that they absolutely at all costs do not want to be giving a gun to LDLC. NBK will actually get the kill, and as I say it, there's a free AK for him to hold on to for the next round. That's more money saved in his pocket. That is a very big play there indeed.
Yeah, very good stuff. That's definitely important. So 8-6, only a 2-round lead for NiP, and even with 6 rounds, and like LDLC can't win this map, they definitely can. Should not be celebrating too soon here if you're an NiP fan, because that is the wrong approach. Bit of a boost going on the left side of the middle here. Happy on top of the Noah Tower, as we sometimes refer to it as.
Yeah, they haven't used this yet. They haven't really used this at all, actually, LDLC. So this could actually potentially catch NiP off guard here. We'll see how things play out. Freiburg actually going to be getting up fairly close. Nice nade there, the nade combo, but Happy returns the frag. And he just barely escapes with his life. 3 HP left on him. But already just trading frags. That was a sick read by NiP, however. That nade and that spray is designed to take out that boost. NiP not showing anything here to the Frenchman.
And to do it in the 1 round where LDLC actually do it, that's when NiP decides to just throw grenades and shoot on through there. Smith's also grenaded down to 38. He's going to have to come up big here with the AWP, but they're boosting up. He takes down Makelele. That's a good start. Needs a little bit more, but he hits the barrel and you can't shoot through. And he goes down. Exist with a great double kill. NBK trying to take a shot through the wall here. He's going to have to get it. Drops the bomb. And now it's a 1-on-2. It's on Shox. Undoubtedly a great player to have left in a 1-on-2 situation. He's going to switch it up for an M41. A lot rides on him here. He's got the kit. He's got 1 flashbang. But he's up against Forrest and Exist. There's a lot of experience on the other side. Flashbang goes in. Shox. Oh, and he goes down to Forrest. It's Exist, obviously, the man of that round with a triple kill. Also ending up top fragging at 14 on his team. But Happy's at 16 on the other team. A lot of weight put on his shoulders right here as he's currently trying to carry his team to victory. That's a 9-6 finish, Semler, in favor of NiP.
And that's actually, I mean, an excellent finish to the first half here for NiP, especially considering we've been seeing teams come out ahead on the CT side of Dust 2 a lot in recent times. The meta seems to be changing on the map. Teams are getting so good on the defense that it's becoming increasingly difficult to take rounds on your terrorist side when you're on the offense. So for NiP to get 9 rounds at the end of the first half is excellent. If they take the pistol round here going into the second half, they could run away with this half, or run away with this first map in the best of 3, and Thorn's predictions would already be ruined. Just like that.
Is that the silver lining here?
Yeah, we gotta keep him on his toes, right?
We do, but I mean, as of yet, he's been on point for a little bit, I think. He's had an alright record for this event.
Oh,
what? We're just waiting. Still 50 seconds left on the countdown. You could see NiP were ready. They were talking to each other. Peter being quite active in the background, just going over what can we do? What do we already know about LDLC and their way of playing a terrorist-side pistol? I wouldn't be surprised if LDLC are gonna go for something that might start slightly slow, but then turns into a bit of a Glock train, because that seems to be highly effective. Rushing straight away isn't always necessary, but if you do, you might want to do it towards long. Rushing B is really hard, because you're going to run through a smoke almost certainly, and maybe even more than that. So either rush A, or just take mid control and wait. If you get an entrance, then you go, all of you.
There are advantages. There are advantages and disadvantages, at least rushing in the pistol, right? Because even with that smoke, it's not like you're rushing against an M4. You know, it's still a pistol on the other side. So you do have options. The question is, do they really want to risk rushing? Because if you rush into a CZ, you could lose 2 guys instantly, and then, you know, your whole push just kind of goes away. So
it's absolutely true. Well, we're getting into the second half now. Dreamhack, make some noise!
Yeah, sick crowd here at Dreamhack as well. Once again, Anders, we don't have space. There's a whole stage here this time at Dreamhack Winter, and we still don't have space, don't have room for everybody here. It's sick. CS is sick at Dreamhack in Sweden.
Dreamhack, they did their best to calculate how many people would show up, and last year we stole all the Hearthstone seats, and this time around they had so much more, and it's still not enough. Now, get right over here. CZ in hand, wasting a few bullets. Happy deciding, wait a minute, it's a little bit too close for comfort. Gonna go back and play a little bit safe instead.
This could be very interesting here for LDLC if they were to just, if they could spot out potentially how many people are here. Exist is just holding the single hard. Force is actually the bait on the hook. They want them to come in here. They want them to try and peek and potentially give the opportunity here to Exist, but it is going to be a B-split push coming out here from LDLC. And NiP are leaving the bomb site. Freiburg, he's a second too late, and now LDLC are going to get out onto this site. That is the timing there goes LDLC's way, and Kiyoshima will pick up the headshot on Forrest as well.
What a great plan here. MBK is going to take down Freiburg as well. Happy waiting up on short. He's taking a fight. He gets Get Right as well. Perfectly timed for LDLC. Such a smart call. And that's going to be it. A flawless pistol round for LDLC with a double kill for NBK. That was absolutely the perfect call. Almost uncanny how they were able to do that.
You get the feeling that NiP, they definitely thought that this was going to be a push through mid here from LDLC, because Freiburg, he just leapt out that window trying to get onto B slope to try and get as many guns onto mid as possible, but they just got completely outgamed there. NiP, they were completely out of position when they actually realized that Freiburg tried to get back through window onto that site, but he was just half a second too late, and by that time, LDLC had full control. Now Shoxy is going to start off strong here, taking out Freiburg in this second round, who tried to go for the dig. Michael Lilly is going to take it instead, so we'll see if the Opera can actually get a little bit more done here. But LDLC, now that is the second start. They should be able to even it up in rounds, and then at that point, it's almost anybody's game.
It is, absolutely. I mean, LDLC winning that pistol round just brought this match much closer and much more interesting. There's something shaping up, though, on the NiP side that LDLC might not realize just yet, which is that both Forrest and Michael Lilly haven't bought anything this round, which is a strong indication that NiP aren't gonna, take this one step at a time. They're gonna upgrade directly to the double up setup, and that is definitely very interesting. That's not something NiP would normally do.
No, it is. I mean, they are quite capable here, depending on how much damage they can get done. NBK will finally remove the Exist from the table, but Michael Lilly is still alive with the Deagle, looking for another headshot. Can he find it? Not gonna connect, and NBK will take him out. Get Right. He's gonna be the only man alive here for NiP, but he gets caught once again. Happy watching the flank, making sure that Get Right can't lurk his way into a few extra frags. And so LDLC actually get through this second round with the bomb plant. So this was a little extra money, but more importantly, they keep 4 players alive here. So they're going to be pretty pleased with that result. NiP, on the other hand, did they decide to go for anything here as far as the money is concerned? I'd be really surprised if they did.
They're going to keep it cool. I'm pretty sure that Forrest and Michael just are thinking about those orbs. It's not a bad choice either, because I don't think LDLC are going to be too keen on opening on the terrorist side unless they get pressured into it. So the initial orb, Happy spraying while flashed, and he's only going to get the 1 kill here. So they steal a rifle. Now the big question is for, he only has a USPS. If he had a CZ, it'd be so much fun here, but this is going to be such a tough battle. Trying to check the corners. Forrest with 1 shot, goes for a little bit more, but he can't connect with the second one. So 3 on 3. I think they should try and save this AK. Kiyoshima cleaning up in the middle. A nice cleanup at that. 4 kills, just mowing down NiP. No rifles saved at all. And that's the tie. 9 for 9. 1 AWP purchased, another one. So there it is.
So one thing is that NiP are going to be slightly limited on nades here to hold the push, but at the same time, they're going to be counting on these AWPs. They're going full Titan here. One thing that is interesting is that Smith does have the AWP. He has his CZ combo as well, so we're going to see, we're going to be looking for big things here, but are they actually going to try and use a Smiths against Smiths? Flash over the doors and the crouch peek, but Smith doesn't hit the shot. Instead, he hits a sick flick onto Forrest, and that's one of the ops down now for NiP.
What is that, like Smith's deception? I'm not sure. Get right. It's going to go down, and Kyoshima with an absolutely great headshot from lower dark. A nice start here for LDLC. They're actually trying to one-up Smiths by double peeking behind the flash. Normally, Smith just flashes himself in and does it, which is very effective. But NiP thought, all right, he might be good on Dust too, but two of us, we have to be able to beat him. They just weren't. Now NiP have a tough choice to make. Smith is going to take down Freiburg as well. So Michael in excess left. This is looking very dominant here. Michael going to miss the shot. Tries again. He's got to be really careful if they come for him. I'm not sure he can stop them. He's just going to go super aggressive here. And he's going to end up going down a little bit too bold. Exist now alone. 1 on 5 and he drops. It is LDLC now taking the round lead. 4 rounds consecutively in the second half.
A sick round by Smiths as well, considering, you know, we were kind of giving him a little flack there earlier for having a bit of a slow start in the semifinal. Not the best performance, excuse me. Now here in this one round, this crucial key round, he manages to just single-handedly annihilate NiP practically. I mean, he got one crucial kill to take out one of the Operas, a key part of NiP's strategy in that round. And then from there, he was just able to grind NiP down into dust. NiP have got to be wondering now, do they go to the double op again in the next round, or do they try and change it up and just let Michaelele op and let Forrest have the M4 that he has been so effective with throughout the entire group stage, throughout the entire playoffs. Every time he seems to get an M4A1, Forrest seems to get kills, so do they go back to that?
I think the answer is yes, actually. I think they will just have Michaelele opening later on. If they become rich enough at the end of this map, I wouldn't be surprised if Exist ends up with an auto sniper in that B bomb site at some point. Very good strat as well. See NiP in the eco here, stacking up in the B bomb site, and you know, last time this was the situation when NiP were on the terrace side, they just went for A because it's so much easier, and Happy's just scouting it out. He's realizing nobody's here, making the call to his teammates. The only one who can see this coming or hear it coming is Get Right, and he does.
Yep. This is perfect here from Happy. Walks straight out onto the site. You can see the instant reaction from LDLC. They just run all the way around long. They know that this way is safe, that nobody is here lurking, waiting for them. And now Happy is going to be making sure that NiP can't push in and get any kind of flank going here. So Get Right is the one lurking close. No real information now. I'm surprised that NiP have decided not to rotate off and try and get into a better position, considering they just heard the entire LDLC team go stomping past like a herd of buffalo. Roosters step light. No, it's not the best analogy. So.
That's actually a shot through the door there in the middle. Really impressive stuff. Happy turning 180 and picking up the kill on Get Right, even though he got dinked immediately. So, I mean, it's not like NiP had a lot to lose this round. I'm not sure. I just think they did not want to give up a lot of kills to LDLC. They felt like, right, if we can't obviously retake the bomb site, and getting exit frags on a bomb site is not easy either. So why not just, you know, not die, not give them the money bonus for killing us, and maybe steal a rifle there, which Freiburg does. So actually, that's not too bad.
Well, it's actually a valid call, seeing as how, I mean, you know, bonus $300 in your pocket could help LDLC out. That's a smoke nade if they needed, flash, PT50. So let's see exactly how things pan out here as NiP now on the ropes. This is another crucial round for them here, the second big gun round. And now is the time for them to really put a halt to the LDLC push. And what have they chosen? They've chosen to yet again go for the double op. So not electing to change up their strategy. They're going to make this work. They need to land some sick shots here, however. It has to happen. Otherwise, LDLC are just going to break them in half.
MBK with the SG553 as well, which he's used earlier in the tournament and had mixed results with, but he's feeling confident with it still. Forrest can't quite get the target there, and the flick is not on point. Michaelele going to drop down over from the catwalk ledge there and going to try and grenade himself back into action. It's going to be shocks opening up on Exist, and then Michaelele on 1 health being shot in the back as he tries to make his way a little bit back into the bomb site, but he has to run. That spot is so grenadable. This is a tough retake now for NiP. LDLC might extend their lead quite a bit here.
Yeah, especially considering LDLC, they immediately go for the catwalk plant because they still have control of cat. There's no reason to plant where NiP would have any real chance of retaking it. Now it's going to come down to just a masterful work here from NiP. Can they land the shots? Shoxy gets the headshot. Smith will take out Get Right, and that's a slope cleaned up. Now down to 2 remaining members here for NiP. make that one. Michael with his 1 point of health. He's trying to make a getaway, but they're already closing in on him. Just starts walking in the nick of time, but NBK, he's going to be in a position to block him off. Does he check the angle? No, he does not. He actually goes with his knife out. NBK feeling adventurous there.
This is not going to work out well for Michaelele. They're just going to wallbang through. He's got 1 health. If they so much as touch him, he's dead. Shox will end up with a quad kill here in the round. 17 kills overall, 0 assist, and only 5 deaths. I just have no idea how Shox could have only died 5 times in 21 rounds, just now going into the 22nd. That's actually almost unbelievable.
That's some Shoxy level play right there. I mean, really, his Dust 2, that's why they're LDLC are a team to be feared on here. This is Smiths, this is Shoxy, this is their playground. They love this map. It really does seem to be when they really play well. This is, I mean, when they're on this map, this is when they shine. So NiP clearly not having found a way to deal with this yet. NiP now going for a buy of their own, of course. Very limited on nades, but they still have rifles to work with here. And at this point, they decide to go for a push anywhere. A little bit of an aggressive hold there by Michaelele, but he instantly gets taken out by Smith. And once again, LDLC find that entry frag. They are going to have room to move.
Are they going to be able to root out Get Right from short here? They're certainly coming for him. He's going to peek out, then he goes down. Nice entry. Shox again doing all the work right now. NiP should definitely consider running away with these last rifles here. Even at the A-bomb site, 5-on-3 is a kind of a ludicrous retake if they're going to end up trying for it here. Smoke, they have a couple of grenades and 1 defuse kit. I really rather see them try and save these rifles. Happy gets the kill on Forest here, and now LDLC are in an even better position. I think NiP are almost looking a little bit desperate right now, just trying to force their way back in here. They exist very low on health, 1-on-4, and he's not going to make it out of there either. NBK will take him down, and that's a 13-9 scoreline. And now NiP calling for a pause, and I don't blame them. This map is hugely significant for them, and as we see on the monitor, LDLC are taking up the headset, so we can't talk too intimately about the game because I don't want to give anything away, of course.
Now, the one thing that that play right there, I think, is basically Happy using that AWP as bait for NiP. It's like, here's the hook. There's a nice juicy worm on it. Come and get it, come and get it. And NiP, man, they took it hook, line, and sinker there. They just could not get their hands on that gun. So, I mean, you can understand why they would want to get it. I mean, they're not obviously not going to be able to buy one up, and, well, it's just way too close, basically, at that level. You need to be able to get any little advantage. And NiP, if they could just dart forward and grab it and get away with it, that would be all right with them. But from there on out, LDLC just controlled the situation marvelously there. Right now, I mean, without going into too much detail, LDLC have got a huge lead.
Oh, they definitely have. This is looking scary. It's not that NiP couldn't win Inferno if we ended up on it, but there was some emphasis during the pre-show about how much this map does matter for the NiP team, giving the map selection and all of that stuff. It's only a 4-round lead. It can change, but it has to change right about now, otherwise it's not going to end up too well. If you are just joining us and you are on Twitter, please don't forget the hashtag is #DHW14, Dreamhack Winter 14, if you want to get your tweets in, and definitely do that as well. We'll obviously go and read all of them later on as we can. And please, in my ear, friends, we're looking to break records tonight here for the Grand Finals. All right, I think they've unpaused again.
Yeah, we should be getting back in. The countdown has begun, and we go into the 23rd round where NiP are on the ropes. They don't have the money going into this, but the crowd is getting hyped, and with the crowd behind them, NiP, they rarely fail. We have to see them come through now. So this is all going to be about the 24th round now for NiP. What are they going to be able to pull off here to catch LDLC off guard? Because LDLC seem to be prepared for everything that NiP have thrown at them so far. It is a bit bumpy to begin with, but Happy will find the entry frag here and take out Forest on his B side. That weakens the defense significantly, but LDLC, they are playing so very patiently. They aren't giving anything here to NiP.
I think NiP's emergency meeting wasn't about this round, it's about the upcoming round. They've tried to figure out a plan to secure a way back into the game, and at 14-9, it's not going to be easy, but it's well within the realm of reason that they could make a comeback from that position. So we just have to see what it is exactly they have planned. They've tried a couple of times for aggression at Catwalk, and it hasn't worked out so well. I don't think they've had much aggression in Upper Dark at all. And they certainly haven't combined Catwalk and Upper Dark aggression like we saw earlier in the match, or early in the tournament. So maybe that's going to be a plan here for NiP. Freiburg, he gets the 1 kill in, but then goes down, and that gives LDLC the bomb side here. The French team is looking incredibly strong.
Just looking indomitable at this point. Get Right will get taken out by Smith, who now has that AWP and he's camping in the window. Happy has his AWP as well, and there you go. He will find the frag on Michael, who's trying to work his way out from CT. Exist is now the only man here with the CZ75, but he has been spotted out and he will have no luck. No parting frag there for NiP, so it's just Freiburg's 1 kill on Shoxy. But at this point, LDLC have so much money in the bank, nearly all of them maxed out. Fully bought up, they have 3 guys sitting at $15,000. LDLC are not worried about ecoing anytime soon. This is all pressure on NiP, and this time around, NiP have not gone for a double op. This time it's just Michael with the sniper rifle. They're going to let Forrest go back to rifling.
And now it's time for the Swedes to really get back into this game. They've got the boost going on the middle. Get Right up here, probably going to get flashed in by a teammate, I assume at some point. It's going to be the case. Oh, yeah, he's just waiting here. Waiting for Freiburg to call out if anyone's coming. It's going to be Exist opening up a kill down in middle as Shox goes down. Forrest takes out MBK. He's got 9 bullets left and Happy comes for him. Happy gets the return kill. So that's very important for LDLC, just trying to stabilize for a moment. Flashbang goes in here. Freiburg trying to force them back, and he's successful for a moment, but they're probably going to recommit any second. There is backup here. I think LDLC might be making a mistake if they go for it. Freiburg peeks in and is instantly legged, down to 10 health. But are they going to realize Exist is also in this bomb site? This is still pretty tough for LDLC to make their way through.
Well, the steps through might prompt a reaction here from NiP, but LDLC are deciding to take a bit of a different fight here, different angle. They don't want to walk onto B site where they could potentially be walking into a flank from Freiburg. Here they want to go for the pick. They have the ops. I mean, they have 2 AWPs. So if they could land 1 shot on Get Right here, holding on this A side. If Get Right chooses the wrong moment to stand up and peek for info, this could get brutal, but there's the Molotov to force him out into the open, and let's see if LDLC can capitalize on this. Get Right getting caught on the edge. He stands his ground, he gets a double headshot spray. That's what we're talking about, Get Right. Happy, now the only man alive here in a 1v3, and he's going for just a safe plant. Guarantee that money. Even if LDLC don't need it, he's just going to try and get that plant down as quickly as possible and see what he can do here. Flash to lead the way, and Happy is gone. Exist has taken it, and that is Get Right at his finest. At that range, a double headshot is disgusting.
That looked so clumsy from Get Right, and then it turned into pure perfection. I have no idea how. It's almost like he decided, I may actually burn alive from this position. I really don't care. I'm just going to headshot anyway, and it'll be all right. 14 to 10, still a very, very long ways to go. As you said, the money on LDLC is still incredible. As you can see here from the score, maybe you can't, but Q-Shima is at almost 11,000. It's 11,500 on Happy as well. And the problem is, even when this money starts to dwindle, if NiP win a lot of consecutive rounds, the round loss bonus is going to kick in for LDLC, and they'll be able to buy for a very long time into the future. So NiP just have to soldier on. This is about raw skill at this point for the NiP team.
As far as LDLC are concerned, they're actually making quite a bit of noise at mid this time around. They haven't really changed up how they've been approaching it. They still keep the 3 guys in mid, 1 guy in upper, 1 guy towards long, really just trying to control all of the points that NiP could try and push on this map to get info and potentially get an entry. But for now, at least, NiP still setting up with that crossfire. They really do put quite a bit of focus on mid with this 2-on-2 approach. I feel like Michael, we haven't really seen him bring that huge performance. If they decide to push up Cat here, LDLC, he's in an ideal position to deal with that. So this would be his time to shine. But Smith may have an opportunity to get the entry, and he will actually pick Freiburg out in the open. And Shoxy's already in position in CT spawn. Does he hit the right timing? Yes, he does, but he cannot get the spray. Exist instead will get taken out by Kyoshima, and Smith will find Forrest camping on that B site. LDLC now have full control of this situation.
They have to eco, they have to save. Get Right's gonna go down here. Michael, the only one left. The big problem is there's 2 people on NiP who are less than $1,000. The rest can buy, but 2 of them couldn't. So actually, I think, even though they wanted to try and retake that, they should have done their best to save those 2 last rifles here. Now, Michael basically has to. This AWP is lost, and NiP will have very poor equipment to try and prevent themselves from losing the map, but he's going to get flanked from long, and that will be it. LDLC, perfect entrance. Smith, that shot on Freiburg in the middle opened everything up. At that point, he was down to Forrest, and he was getting attacked from 2 different angles. So tough.
If I'm not mistaken, it looked like Shoxy actually dropped down from Cat into CT spawn. So that's actually very interesting there that they really set that up. So all the pieces falling into place there for LDLC. Smiths with the entry frag, Shanxi there to stop the rotation from Exist. It really felt like LDLC knew exactly where NiP would be playing in that scenario. But now here we are, potential map point, the first map in this best of 3, and NBK has already found the entry. Forest has picked off a bid.
I said earlier I thought Exist might be able to pick up an also sniper if they got enough money. I wasn't thinking in the potential last round here. He's already been legged. Freiburg picking up an AWP and taking down Shocks. As it isn't over yet. LDLC's money is still pretty impressive, but NiP, they might be able to do this. It's 4-on-4. Frenchmen, they know as well as we do. They're right around the corner. Inferno might be lurking. Their best map.
That's the big thing here. If LDLC take this first map, it is looking incredibly good for them to just lock out this grand final 2-0. And NiP need to find a way back in here, and this is going to be setting up for the B split already. That's Scar 20 going to work. Exist madly clicking away, just trying to stop the push through the tunnel, letting them know there's a lot of damage waiting on the other side of this smoke. If you decide to push through, you're going to be in for a rough time. But Kiyoshima just finds a sick headshot, and Freiburg is now the only man alive here on this B slope.
Great entrance once again from the Frenchman. This is looking so good for LDLC. Freiburg taking a shot right across his face. He's going to miss the flick here. Got the C-set. Oh, sorry, the pistol out instead, and it's going to be another blind shot through. The bomb goes down. Molotov to keep them out of the bomb site. LDLC, they've got this planned out. They even have one more Molotov here on Happy, just being put down now. This is perfection from LDLC. Smith takes the kill. It's just Freiburg left, and it is going to be LDLC winning the first map, 16-10.